Okay, you'll fill this in with this information. Kate Chopin, born 1851 to 1904. Her early years. Kate Chopin was born Catherine O'Flaherty in St. Louis, Missouri. When she was 5 years old, her father was killed in a railroad disaster, leaving her mother a 27-year-old widow. As a student at Sacred Heart Academy, Chopin exhibited, quote, gifts as a teller of marvelous stories, unquote. And as a young woman, she was the belle of St. Louis society. In 1870, she married Oscar Chopin, a Creole businessman, and settled with him in New Orleans. Her family and work. In 1879, financial problems forced the Chopins and their 5 young sons to move to rural Louisiana, where their 6th child, a daughter, was born. 3 years later, in 1882, Oscar Chopin died of malaria, leaving his family in debt. Before she returned home to St. Louis in 1884, Chopin raised her children alone and managed her husband's business. Moments of inspiration. In 1889, Chopin's first poem and first story were published. Over the next 10 years, she published 2 novels, more than 100 short stories, and many reviews and poems. According to her son Felix, Chopin would, quote, go weeks and weeks without an idea, then suddenly grab her pencil and old lapboard, and in a couple of hours, her story was complete and off to publishing, unquote. Literary concerns. Chopin's local color stories about the Creoles, Cajuns, African Americans, and Indians, whom she had known in Louisiana, won her much acclaim. But her stories about women seeking to be free often aroused protest. Severe criticism was directed at her second novel, The Awakening, in 1899, for its depiction of a woman's adulterous affair. That novel and Chopin's other works dealing with women's issues have since received greater appreciation. Take notes on this information, listen again if you need to, and then I want you to look for connections to this information in the story of the novel.